What if I told you that the church has hidden a gospel for over 1,000 years? One that challenges everything you've been taught about Mary Magdalene. Welcome to the Forbidden Gospel series, where we dive deep into the hidden corners of early Christianity to uncover truths that have been suppressed for centuries. In today's episode, we're exploring a groundbreaking text that redefines one of Christianity's most enigmatic figures, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, the woman apostle silenced. But here's where it gets interesting. The Gospel of Mary Magdalene isn't just another apocryphal text. It's a revelation that Mary wasn't merely a follower of Jesus, but a primary disciple endowed with special knowledge by him. Imagine Mary not as a side character, but as a spiritual leader and a confidant whose insights were deemed too radical for the mainstream church. The traditional narratives have long minimized women's roles in Christianity, often portraying Mary Magdalene as a repentant sinner or an afterthought in the resurrection story. However, the Gospel of Mary flips this script entirely. It presents her as someone who held profound understanding and authority, challenging the patriarchal structures that emerged within the early church. This isn't just a story about one woman. It's a story about power, knowledge, and the suppression of voices that threatened the established order. But why was this gospel excluded from the canonical scriptures? Scholars argue that the church feared Mary's influence and the egalitarian message of the gospel. Her portrayal as an empowered woman with direct access to divine knowledge was too threatening to the emerging patriarchal hierarchy. By silencing her voice, the church reinforced male dominance and maintained control over theological narratives. The implications of suppressing the Gospel of Mary Magdalene go beyond just historical revisionism. It reflects a broader pattern of diminishing women's roles not only in religion, but in society as a whole. When Mary's teachings and leadership were erased, so too was the potential for a more inclusive and balanced spiritual framework. This exclusion wasn't just theological, it was political, ensuring that the power structures remained firmly in male hands. Let's delve deeper into the text itself. The Gospel of Mary is rich with Gnostic elements, emphasizing inner spiritual knowledge over external authority. Mary shares teachings that suggest a direct, personal connection with the divine, bypassing the need for a hierarchical clergy. This Gnostic perspective was at odds with the emerging Orthodox beliefs, which sought to centralize and institutionalize Christian teachings. The very essence of Mary's message threatened to undermine the church's authority. Moreover, the Gospel of Mary portrays the resurrection in a unique light, focusing on spiritual resurrection rather than physical. This esoteric interpretation aligns with the broader Gnostic emphasis on inner enlightenment and the transcendence of the material world. Such ideas were considered heretical by the Orthodox Church, further justifying the suppression of her gospel. But here's a thought-provoking question. What if Mary Magdalene had been recognized as an apostle? How different would early Christianity look today? Her inclusion could have paved the way for a more balanced representation of genders within the faith, fostering a community where spiritual leadership was accessible to all, regardless of gender. The historical erasure of Mary Magdalene also mirrors similar patterns in other religious traditions. For instance, in Eastern Christianity, female saints have long been venerated, highlighting women's spiritual contributions. Yet, in the Western tradition, Mary's role was diminished. This discrepancy underscores how cultural and political contexts shape religious narratives, often at the expense of marginalized voices. Let's not forget the viewers' comments that highlight the significance of this gospel. One viewer said, "Mary Magdalene is portrayed as a sinner in most traditional teachings, but this gospel reveals a much deeper truth. It's time we give her the respect she deserves." Another asked, "The Gospel of Mary completely changes the way we view early Christianity and the role of women. Why was this gospel hidden for so long?" These sentiments echo the growing desire to re-examine and reclaim Mary's true legacy. The suppression of the Gospel of Mary Magdalene is a stark reminder of how power dynamics can shape religious history. It challenges us to question the narratives we've been taught and to seek out the suppressed truths that offer a more inclusive and authentic understanding of our spiritual heritage. Consider the broader implications of Mary's silenced voice. In a world where women continue to fight for equal representation and recognition, the story of Mary Magdalene resonates deeply. It serves as a powerful symbol of resistance against systems that seek to marginalize and silence. The Gospel of Mary Magdalene isn't just a historical artifact. It's a beacon for contemporary movements, striving for equality and empowerment. Furthermore, the teachings within the Gospel of Mary offer a different perspective on spirituality and leadership. Mary's emphasis on inner knowledge and personal connection with the divine suggests a form of Christianity that is more inclusive and less hierarchical. This contrasts sharply with the institutionalized church, which often prioritizes doctrine and authority over individual spiritual experiences. But here's another intriguing question. How would the Christian doctrine have evolved if Mary Magdalene's teachings had been integrated into the mainstream? Would the church have embraced a more balanced view of gender roles? Would spirituality have become more personalized and less dogmatic? These questions invite us to imagine a Christianity that is more inclusive and reflective of its diverse followers. The Gospel of Mary Magdalene also sheds light on the early Christian communities, revealing a more dynamic and diverse group of believers. Mary's prominent role suggests that women were integral to the spiritual and communal life of these early followers of Jesus. This challenges the often male-centric view of early Christianity and highlights the need to revisit and reevaluate historical narratives. Moreover, the exclusion of Mary's gospel can be seen as part of a broader effort to define orthodoxy and suppress alternative viewpoints. By controlling the narratives and deciding which texts were considered authoritative, the early church leaders were able to shape the direction of Christianity in ways that aligned with their vision of authority and hierarchy. This process of canonization was not just about theology, it was a strategic move to consolidate power and maintain control over the growing Christian population. The story of Mary Magdalene and her suppressed gospel is a testament to the enduring struggle between authority and truth. It reminds us that history is often written by those in power, and that uncovering suppressed voices requires courage and perseverance. As we continue to explore these forbidden gospels, we not only uncover hidden truths, but also honor the voices that have been silenced for too long. The Gospel of Mary Magdalene is not just a relic of the past, it's a revelation for today. It invites us to rethink the roles women played in shaping early Christianity and to acknowledge the silenced voices that have long been overshadowed by dominant narratives. But there's more to the story. Stay tuned for the next episode in our Forbidden Gospel series, where we'll uncover the secrets of the Gospel of Thomas and its radical teachings. If you're fascinated by the hidden truths of early Christianity, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to uncover more forgotten gospels. Let us know in the comments, what do you think the Gospel of Mary tells us about women in the early church? Do you believe the church had reasons beyond theology for excluding women's voices from the Bible? Share your thoughts below. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the shadows of history. Together, we can illuminate the hidden truths and honor the voices that have been silenced for too long. Remember, the Forbidden Gospel series is just beginning. There are countless stories waiting to be revealed, each one challenging the foundations of what we thought we knew. Don't miss our next episode. Subscribe now and be part of the exploration into the unknown.